most joyous scene ever seen in the history of boxing. This is an incredible scene. The place is going wild. Muhammad Ali has won. Muhammad Ali has won by a knockdown. By a knockdown. The thing they said was impossible.
Today, Muhammad Ali stands as one of the greatest boxers to ever step foot in the ring. Known for his lightning-fast feet, unhuman reflexes, and witty trash talk, Ali has the accolades to prove it, having won the World Heavyweight Championship an unprecedented 3 times. But boxing wasn't Ali's only passion. Born Cassius Clay, Ali legally changed his name to Muhammad Ali in order to get rid of his slave name. An advocate for equal rights for minorities, Ali showed no fear when it came to voicing his opinion.
Because right now, black people, when you show this show, are home jumping, home shouting, because they don't have the nerve to say what I'm saying, and nobody has never said it, and they're just so happy to see a black man who will stand up and jeopardize every quart he's got to tell the truth. So like Floyd Patterson and other fighters, they just don't take part. They make $1 million, they get them a Rolls Royce, they get them a nice home, they get them a white wife. Well, I made it, America's great, and the rest of them catching hell, and he won't say nothing. But when one man of popularity can let the world know the problem, he might lose a few dollars himself telling the truth, might lose his life. But he's helping millions. But if I kept my mouth shut just because I can make millions, and then this ain't doing nothing. So I just love the freedom and the flesh and blood of my people more so than I do the money. You can take his show and play it right in Washington, let Nixon hear it.
Unlike modern day athletes or politicians, Ali truly practiced what he preached.
Just how far would you go to keep from taking up arms?
I'll die. It's anything that's against my religious beliefs. I'd rather face machine gun fire before deviate from the teachings of Almighty God and the religion of Islam. I would die.
Well, in this situation, you wouldn't have to die. It would mean that you'd go to jail if you refused to take up arms.
I'm not saying where I would go. I'm just letting you know that I'm going to stick 1,000% to my religious beliefs, even if it means die. You figure out the rest.
He risked everything, including his boxing license, his heavyweight title, and 4 years of his athletic prime when he refused to join the Vietnam War draft. But to Ali, none of that mattered if it meant helping his people. The impact of Ali's stand can be seen today as more and more athletes are beginning to make controversial stands for what they believe in. Take Colin Kaepernick or LeBron James, for instance, taking the controversial stands for African American rights and against police brutality. Ali's stance against the Vietnam War was illuminated by the fact that he was an African American Muslim. Not only was his stance controversial, but Ali's racial and religious identity, combined with the United States that had yet to figure out some of its deepest prejudices, only added fuel to the fire. Ali was bashed and shamed for his decision. The Vietnam War was a very popular war at the time, so the sight of a man who didn't want to fight for his country, let alone an African American Muslim, angered many people. People not only called him a disgrace to the country, but a felon, a simplistic fool, and a coward. He became one of the most hated people in America, but his decision couldn't have come at a better time. Around the time of Ali's decision, the Vietnam War was slowly losing popularity, and the time following his decision, he became an influential advocate for the anti-war movement, speaking at many events such as college campus speeches. Although in the end, Ali triumphed, it came at the cost of his heavyweight title and perhaps the potentially best years of his boxing career. Ali's stance opened the eyes of the public and set the tone for many movements in the future. He helped advance the rights of African Americans and Muslims alike.